Hello friends, thanks for stopping by. Today we are going to do a foundation review. I already did my eyes and my eyebrows, that's why I'm coming to you a little bit on the scary side, but I thought it would just save time and it allows me to really focus on the foundation. So what foundation are we talking about today? Well, I think the title already told you, but it is the Guerlain L'ESSENTIEL Natural Glow Foundation. It has a 16-hour wear. It does have a broad spectrum SPF of 20. The color I am wearing is 03N. The bottle is very, very pretty. It comes in a pump, which I do like. But if the bottle is pretty and the product doesn't work, it doesn't matter what that bottle looks like, does it? Okay, so let's, of course, talk about what the website says about this. Okay, this foundation does come in 29 shades. It will cost you $60. And if you use their brush, which they say you should use their brush to apply, it will be another $50. I am not going to use their brush because I am thinking that the brush is probably very similar to the Artiste brush. So I'm going to use one side with the Artiste brush and the other side a good old beauty blender. It is said to be for normal, dry, combination, and oily skin. It has a very natural finish. And it is enriched with skincare benefits which hydrate and balance. I don't really care about the skincare benefits to a foundation because I'm going to take care of my skin with actual skincare products. So let's go ahead and see what the company says. It says this is a long wear liquid foundation with 97% naturally derived ingredients with buildable coverage and a natural glow finish. An innovative formula enriched with skincare benefits that hydrates and balances the skin to improve complexion over time. The silky, smooth texture becomes one with the skin, and the complexion looks perfected, luminous, and fresh. There is one thing about this foundation that I don't really understand the need for, but I printed out the sheet from the website. Actually give a description of the fragrance that went into this foundation. It is a musky, woody fragrance that opens with a white almond top note. The delicate middle note of white tea reveals a soft and creamy sandalwood-based note. Its charm is sublimed by white musk and tonka bean. Now, I don't understand the need for this, but hey, we're rolling with this review, okay? The ingredients that probably are what they're boasting as their skincare ingredients would be red algae and tarragon extracts. This allows the skin to breathe and helps supports the skin's ability to defend against pollution. That is a good thing. White cocoa bean extract combined with beauty boasting ingredients helps to maintain the skin's natural balance, strengthens skin's moisture barrier, and boost hydration. So that pretty much wraps up all we need to know what the website says about the foundation. So we need to go ahead and apply this and get our own thoughts on it. So on this side of my face, I went ahead and I am just using the Tatcha primer, and I just did this half of my face straight down the middle and applied it. It has been setting for a little bit. So now, and this side has absolutely nothing on it. This is going to go bare skin, just so we can see, because not everybody likes to wear a primer. And then I am a person that definitely needs a primer, not for staying power. I need it more for blurring out the pores, because with age, I think the pores get just as old and they start to, sag a little bit. Therefore, they appear larger. So let's get going. Again, it is the Guerlain L'ESSENTIEL Natural Glow Foundation with 16-hour wear. And again, I am wearing the color 03N Natural. Okay? In the bottle, it looks like it might be a tad too light, but I'm not sure. So let's go ahead. I already primed the bottle so we can see what the formula looks like. So I'm going to give me one squirt, and I'm going to allow you to see that it's not really running down. It actually looks warmer coming out than it does in the bottle. So this may turn out to be the perfect color for me. So I'm going to start out with one squirt, and I'm going to go ahead and just tap it on to this side of my face. Now, I did read in the directions, it also says that this is buildable. For very light coverage, you would use one pump for the whole face. Well, I know that's not going to work for me. It's going to give me a very thin layer. I should speak about my skin. I have very, very dry skin, for those of you who are new. I have some sagging. I have some lines. I have a couple of age spots showing up. They're very light, not a real problem for me. I also have very, very green, yellowish veins around the sides of my face. I don't have them down the center, but I do have them around my eyes, and they're very prominent, and I like my foundation to cover that up. That's why I can't go with just one pump of this. I know I can. And underneath my eyes, I have a lot of bluing. Now, I am not going to use concealer today because I want this to be a foundation review. Do you ever notice when, I don't notice it, yes, I do notice it with a lot of people that do foundation review. They then come in with the concealer and they go all the way down here with it. Then they put some in the middle of their forehead. Then they put it along here on the jaw. And they take their beauty blender and they blend it all in. And then I'm thinking, okay, so now we don't have a foundation review. We have a foundation concealer review, because if you're going to pack on the concealer over the foundation, you're not getting a true test of the foundation. That is why I leave out a concealer. Okay, so enough babbling. Let's get on with it. So I'm just going to go underneath my eyes, and I'm going to go along the side because, again, the veining needs to be addressed. And for this side, I'm going to go ahead and use a brush. So I am going to pick up whatever's left on my hand, and I'm going to use the Artiste brush Oval 8, but if you have 7 or 6, they will work the same. So I'm going to go ahead, and I want to distribute this around. It does say, it actually says to pat your face before with the brush to awaken your skin. We're not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and tap it on just to distribute the foundation around. Of course, I have to be a little careful because I already have my eyes done and I don't want to mess those up, and my eyebrows. So I'm just going to distribute it around, and then I am going to go ahead and massage it in like I would with any other foundation I use with this brush. It has a nice finish from what I can see right now. I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Okay, so there is one application of the foundation. It is really pretty, but it is not enough coverage with just one pump on that side. I am going to take another pump, and I'm not going to use the whole thing, but I do need to address this issue right here because I have an age spot there that is showing. So I'm going to go ahead and just tap that on and go along where the green veining is. I'll go along my jawline, and then I'm just going to give it a nice quick buff. Very light-handed buff with this brush. Okay, it is laying nicely over the tatcha. It's not creating a problem for me. There's no pilling or anything like that with it. I am going to go ahead and apply a little bit more, and I'm going to definitely go up around my eye here. And I'll use my finger to blend around the eye area. I'm going to tap that on. It spreads easily. It feels very lightweight on the skin. Now, the scent is there when you first apply it. It definitely is. It could be offensive at first, but I'm going to hope that it dissipates. So I'm just filling in the nose area, and I'm going to go ahead and start to work that. I want to get as close as I can to the brow. And 2 coats seems to be working much better. So that was 2 pumps, but I still do have quite a bit left on my hand. So there is the foundation. There's my skin by itself. And then the foundation applied. I'm still smelling the fragrance. Definitely. I'm going to just go ahead and work this close to the brow. Okay, so there is the finish. I'll back up here so you can get a distance look, and then we'll come in a little bit closer. So you can see, I think the color is actually pretty good for me. But it really does have a pretty finish. Now I can see that it is setting, so that's what's going to allow it to last 16 hours. And I will say that it is, as it sets, it is taking on a little bit of that long wear look, but it still has a glow, which is very important for me being a dry skin person. Okay, so now I'm going to leave what I have here. So there's probably a quarter of a pump here. And I'm going to go ahead and apply one more pump to my hand. And I'm going to go ahead and apply it onto this side, forehead, side of nose, along the jaw a little bit, above the lip. And now I'm going to go in with the Beauty Blender and pick up what is left over. And I'm going to go ahead and start to apply. Now my preferred method for foundation is the Beauty Blender. Most of my foundations. Some I really do like with the Artiste brush, and some I like applying with my hands. So it all depends on the foundation I'm using. I will tell you right away, this one is one I'm going to prefer with the Beauty Blender. It really does give a beautiful finish, and I think it spreads the foundation more evenly. And I like that I can get right up underneath my eyes with this. I'm going to go ahead and go around, and we'll see what that one pump did with the sponge to see if I need any more to cover up my green veins. Now, of course, if you don't have any discoloration, try just the one pump. It may be the finish you like. But for me, I do, like I said, I have mild rosacea, and the green veins, they drive me nuts. But there's nothing that I can do about it, so I just look for foundations that don't look cakey on me or like it's too much, that just gives me the right amount of coverage, okay? I really do like the sponge application. It really, I prefer it over the brush. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Looking at my face already, I can tell that I definitely will need to wear a pore primer. And looking underneath my eyes, I do think I would need to wear a little bit of concealer, but we're not going to put any on today. So there is the finished look application, which it spreads easily. It has a nice finish to it. It did cover, but I did have to use 1.5 pumps at least. So you're probably going to need, 2 to 3 good pumps for medium to heavier coverage. I'm not even sure that heavy coverage could be achieved, but it is pretty nice. It does look really nice. I think it gives a great finish. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my face now. And then I'll come back with the finished look, and I'll tell you everything that I used to finish the look. All right, my friends, so I will be back with the finished look in just a moment. Friends, I am back with the finished look, so I thought I would just quickly tell you what I have on my face and then give you my first thoughts on the foundation. I did not check the time, but I'm going to say it's just about 7:30ish, 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so I'll come back mid-afternoon. Anyway, on my face. Okay, so underneath my eyes, with age, my under eyes have actually become a little bit more on they lean more towards the oily side. The rest of my face is dry as a bone, but my under eyes seem to be, getting a little more oily on me. So I do have to always set whether I'm using concealer or not. So what I did is I set with a powder that I know works for me, and it is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder. This one here, I just did a light dusting. And this one is the one that has the primer underneath as well, because I took the Tatcha all the way up. So I just did a light dusting of powder under there, and then this one I did my normal application with my Beauty Blender and then swept it away. And then on the face, all I did is I took my BK Beauty powder brush. This is an excellent brush. They are sold out right now, but I think they have another shipment coming back in for November, and I do think that you can go ahead and place an order and then they'll fill the order for you. Really a great brush. Great Christmas ideas. So I took the powder and I just placed it on this part of my face, right over my nose and right over to the other side, so that I had powder and was able to place my bronzer over it. And then I did not put any powder on the lower half. I did do the T-zone right here, but I did no powder here. And then I went in with the, this is the BK Beauty number 103. The powder brush is 102, just in case you are interested. And everything will be listed and linked below for you, so you don't have to remember anything I say. Just hit the show more button and all the links will be provided for you. So I went in with the Glow Beauty. I love this bronzer because it's not too cool and it's not too red. This is very important, and the color I get in it is Sunlight. It's just a really nice bronzer. I went in with the BK Beauty and I just used it as my bronzer and blush. So I did not apply any extra blush, just this. And it's really nice because you can intensify. That's what I like about these soft brushes. You can just go ahead and tap that on and it'll build up the cheek area. This is just a fabulous, fabulous bronzer. So I did apply that, okay? And for my eyebrows, the Anastasia Brow Wiz in Caramel, but I am trying the Dip Brow Gel because my whites are so bad now that they just are, I'm having a hard time covering them with the tinted brow gel. So I'm using the Dip Brow now, and it really does camouflage all of the white hairs, and it stays all day. So I do like that. The mascara is the Shiseido that I just talked about in my Nordstrom video. Shiseido is the Controlled Chaos Mascara Ink. I like this too. Let's see, curled my lashes with the Shiseido Lash Curler. Again, I primed with the Tatcha on the right side of the face. And the lips. The lips, I have to tell you, I wasn't going to get this lipstick. I bought it in some red shades as well because red is so strong for fall. But this is not a red. Today I am wearing, this is the Lancome Vintage Ruby. And I wasn't going to get it because it's so much like everything else I have. But it is spectacular. And I will tell you the formula, it's a little bit drier, but it has a beautiful satin finish to it. So it's considered a long-lasting lipstick without aging the mouth. This will stay on all day for me. But yeah, this is a really, really nice lipstick. And I am wearing it with, today, Max Hover. And let me show you. It is, this is the color of the MAC Hover. And let me show you the lipstick on its own next to it. And then you can see what it blended into. So there is the lip liner and lipstick all on its own. And then on my lips, that's what they look like together. This is a beautiful, beautiful lipstick. And it actually has a very thick, almost thick, dry consistency going on, but it does go on easily. The eyeshadow palette I am wearing is the Miyuki Street Nudes by Shiseido. I just talked about these in my Nordstrom video. They are really, really beautiful. I did them in almost a smoky look. Really, really love it. And Nordstrom did sell out of these right away. They sold out of a lot of things, including the blush I talked about in that video. You can find them in store. So go to your local Shiseido counter if you have one and look for these shadows. I just went and checked my local counter and they had everything. All right, so let's see how this makeup is playing already. Forehead is looking good. It's not really gathering any place. It really did give a very smooth application. I do have some peeling going on in my face, but that is not the foundation's fault. That's my Retin A use. And it really, I didn't put any powder here. Okay, so on this side where I have the primer, it is not gathering in the lines. On this side where there is no primer, it is starting to gather. So we'll see how it wears for the rest of the day and we will be back. I'll see you. All right, my friends, it is just about 4:30. And I have been out and about all day. It is very, very warm here. It ended up to be an absolutely gorgeous day. I helped move some patio furniture with Lou, so I did not baby this makeup at all. So I first wanted to start out by saying the smell does dissipate. You don't even smell it on your face anymore. Although the fragrance is still there if you're somebody who does not like fragrance in your foundation. Next thing is the foundation is extremely comfortable on the skin. Very, very comfortable. You don't even know you have it on. Third thing is while we were eating lunch, Lou said, I think the foundation looks really nice on you. So that's a man's opinion. And now I'm going to take my handy dandy 5-time magnifier and I am going to go ahead and look at the foundation and see how it wore on each side. Remember, this side had the primer on it, the Tatcha primer, and this side has no primer. This side was the brush, this side was the beauty blender. And on this side, I did a very light dusting of powder to set the foundation. There is also primer underneath this eye. This eye, I packed my normal amount of powder that I used to set the foundation underneath with no primer. Okay, so primer side first. When looking at it, it looks incredible. It really does. It has a beautiful glow. It doesn't look cakey at all. It seemed to, in most areas, it held up really, really well. Now, I did not talk on the phone or anything like that today, so I don't have any wear off in that area. The next thing, I'll go up to my forehead. Now, usually these deep lines that I have right here, they usually collect a little bit of foundation. And I will say that the top line doesn't have anything. There's a small, not even a significant amount to even mention. So really held up really well on the forehead. There's no breakthrough, there's no sliding. It didn't wear off at all. It didn't wear off in this area at all. Jawline, cheek line, no wear off. Chin, a slight wear off, but that could be from eating lunch and taking a napkin and wiping, around, making sure I didn't have any, avocado hanging off before I came up here. Now, if I'm to pull my face up where I have my folds, there is a, not even enough to mention, collection going on here. It did wear off slightly here, and I do think there's a little bit of breakthrough shine right through my T-zone area, which that is the only place, if you want to say I have any oil, would be my T-zone area. But again, it's not sliding around. Really good wear on that side with the primer, okay? And now on the side that I didn't have any primer, it held up just as well. Nothing has gathered in my lines above my eyebrows. And it's still not enough coverage for me around here for the green veining that I have going on. I mean, I can still see the veins here, so I would definitely have to wear a concealer with this foundation or layer up on it, another layer. But I think I would just go ahead and use a concealer. But outside of that, it looks absolutely stunning. Now, if I pull up my face where I have my lines, again, same thing. I actually think they pretty much equaled out, because earlier it seemed like this side was going to be really bad, but it isn't. And there's nothing gathered in my chin lines. My lip lines, there's nothing gathered in the lip line, and I will continue to wear this foundation. I think it has a beautiful finish. Now, underneath the eyes, it seems to almost have creased just slightly under here a little bit more than the eye that I really packed on the powder. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but still, even though it did a little bit, but not even enough to mention. It's not even worth mentioning. I think it played really well underneath the eyes too. Okay, so I have turned the light down and I have come in closer so you can really get a good look at this foundation. You can see there's nothing gathered in my folds at all. No lip line bleeding. No real cakiness underneath the eyes, nothing in my 11s. That is my review for the Guerlain L'ESSENTIel. Everything will be listed and linked below for you. This is really a beautiful foundation, although I don't think you need to use their brush to get a beautiful finish. I still think that the Beauty Blender did a fabulous, fabulous job. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. Give me some suggestions below as to foundation reviews you would like to see. I don't care if they're drugstore. I don't care if they're middle of the road or if they're on the higher end side. I won't go to the extremes of $250 for a foundation because I don't care how it lays on your skin. I don't think there's a foundation out there worth that money, okay? If you haven't already subscribed, please do. I would love to have you as an Ageless Beauty. Be sure to share my channel with your friends. I know there are many, many more aging women out there that have not found us more mature women on YouTube. So spread the word, spread the love, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so you are made aware of all the videos that I am putting up. Until the next time, my friends, go out in the world and be happy, healthy, beautiful, and most of all, lovable. I love you all, my friends. Bisous.